Welcome to the Property Management Mastermind Show with your host, Brad Larson. Brad owns one of the fastest growing property management companies in San Antonio, Texas. This podcast is for property managers by property managers. You'll hear from industry-leading professionals on best practices, new ideas, success stories, and lessons learned. This is your opportunity to learn about the latest industry buzz surrounding property management, as well as tips and strategies to improve your business. Now here's your host, Brad Larson.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on the Property Management Mastermind podcast. Be sure to check out our website at propertymanagementmastermind.com, where you will find all of our episodes, products, and services to review, to include our newly launched Biz Dev Mastermind offering, which is consulting services for companies looking to hire and grow using a business development manager. You can visit that site at bizdevmastermind.com. In addition, I wanted to announce the Property Management Mastermind Annual Conference going on in Las Vegas, March 2, 3, 4 at the Mirage Hotel in 2020. Visit the website at PMMCON.com. If you sign up for the conference and both add-on seminars, you'll get a 10% discount. I look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas. Lastly, be sure to find us on Facebook to join the conversation of over 6,000 members in the Property Management Mastermind Facebook group.
Choose Seacoast Commerce Bank as your property management bank of choice. Seacoast Commerce Bank specializes in trust accounts and business banking for property managers. One of their best features is a cash analysis program where they can assist in paying your property management related invoices. Contact Allison at 619-988-6708 to learn more. And be sure to listen to the Property Management Mastermind podcast, episode number 26, about Seacoast Commerce Bank.
So today we're going to do something different. We have Citizen Home Solutions in studio today. To my left, we have the lovely Miss Drea. Say hello.
Hello, everyone.
We have Mr. Peter Hernandez, Mr. Wes Owens.
Hello.
The Citizen Home Solutions crew. And so thank you guys for being sponsors of the Property Manager Mastermind Conference 2020 and beyond. We're also going to be sponsoring the Biz Dev Seminar, again, going on in July in 2020 in Seattle. That'll be a cool event. The January event was fantastic, the Biz Dev Seminar. And so we're looking for a good follow-up episode going on in Seattle in July. So I'm glad to have you guys in studio as sponsors. Now today what we're going to talk about is Citizen Home Solutions and kind of what they can do. I just learned some fun trivia today that Rentwerx, my company, is what number customer?
Number 3.
We're the third customer for Citizen Home Solutions, and I got to say, it's been a phenomenal experience. I would do it all over again. I'm very excited to have these guys as business partners. Their service and product is phenomenal, and we've been very excited to be using it. So now, let's do some introductions, and so we can kind of get to understand what they're doing, and we'll get into some meat of this, talk about Citizen Home Solutions and what they can do for you guys as businesses. So Drea is marketing rep.
Might as well be at this point.
Come on.
No, I am the business development manager for Citizen Home Solutions.
Okay, good. Mr. Peter?
I am blessed to be the VP for the company, so excited about that.
Nice. And Mr. Wes?
Co-founder and owner.
Co-founder and owner. He's the man. All right. So they're so exciting in person, gang. I am brimming with excitement from them. They're like, I'm ready to turn over the show to them right now because they're just killing it on the comment side. In all seriousness, they're a fun group, and I am proud of our business relationship, and they're a great group to hang out with. So to get to some meat, I want to talk about one thing, and then we'll go into Wes's. I want to have him say a few things. If you guys are able to, I'm going to extend the Property Manager Mastermind Conference discount of $500 off a full sign-up, $500 off a full sign-up until the end of this week. So close of business, 7 February, Friday, 7 February. You can use a CHS discount through PMMCON.
Yes.
Okay, use a CHS discount. PMMCON 2020, get $500 off the full sign-up. So that will be extended till the end of the week for Citizen Home Solutions. And they have some incentives that if they can get some sign-ups, they're getting a free ticket. So maybe you'll be the lucky one. You can get a free ticket and go with, potentially one of your business partners. So having said all that, Wes, now it's your turn. I'm going to force you to talk now. Tell us about all the new stuff with CHS. What's going on?
So we've had a lot of growth. I think you mentioned that you were the number 3 customers starting in 2016. And I think we started off with, we had 3 employees at the time. And now we have a little over, was it 28, almost 29 after you hire the new marketing person. It's been just a lot of growth. We've had been very blessed to have people like you, Pete Newbig, Kevin Knight, as our mentors to help us, grow our business. I mean, without you guys, I don't know if we would have made it this far. So we really appreciate all you guys' input and coaching.
What's the newest and greatest thing coming up?
Can't talk about that just yet. I'll let Peter kind of go into more, but just a lot of growth coming up for 2020. A lot of national companies we're signing on, and just a lot of changes.
Okay, so kind of how Citizen Home Solution works in a nutshell, gang, is they do your frontline sales for your, utilities, right? So what happens is the way we work it is we sign up a new tenant into a lease agreement. We turn the information over to Citizen Home Solutions. They contact the new tenant and say, we can set up your power, your water, your cable, your phone. And in doing that, they can create value added savings for those new tenants coming in. And if they do that, they can also rebate something back to the property management company, because it's all about getting commissions from the big players like AT&T and some of those big players where they can help get somebody into a new package. They get a commission, they split some of that commission with the property management company owner. Everybody wins in this. The tenant gets savings, the PM gets a little marketing incentive, and CHS sets up a great product for a great potential new tenant. And it's, again, a win-win. And you get a lot of feedback from that. Peter, give me a couple stories on feedback from property management companies.
Oh yeah, I think the one thing I hear the most is how people always refer to it as a great, the best moving experience for their tenant. Because as we all know, no one likes to deal with all the hassles of utilities when you're moving. It's already a pain in the butt, right? So you have tenants that are going to have to contact 5, 6, or 7 different service providers. Now, when the property manager, gives them this free service, they just absolutely love it because it cuts down on their time, it saves them money, and they look at you as what we call as a hero, because you're saving them all these things, and so they really love it. They call it PMs call it a great moving experience, and I think that's really what we are. I would encourage anyone who hasn't already to check out our reviews online. The tenants, they always go back and tell us how easy it was, how they loved it. And it's great that they always go back and mention their property manager for having given them the service. So like you said, it's a win-win for everyone.
Can you actually quantify some of the savings you might have seen? You guys have any experience in that? So if they were to go to AT&T on the outside, they're going to pay X for a bundle package. If they were to come through you, they might pay something less. Any knowledge of that stuff?
It's basically, it's always, they're going to pay the same price that they see online, but a lot of people aren't educated, and this is kind of where we come in is, let's say you, Brad, you've been with, I'm just going to use an example as AT&T. If you've been with AT&T for 2 years and they're not ever going to call you and tell you, hey, Brad, you're out of contract. Let's get you the newest price and get you some gift cards or whatever, you know what I mean, to get you to stay as a customer. They're just going to up your price and you'll keep paying that. But what people need to know is that at the end of the 2 years, if you're in a household, you can switch it to your spouse's name, girlfriend's name, friend's name, or whatever, and get the new introductory pricing for any provider.
Name drop some big providers out there you work with.
AT&T, Frontier, Verizon, Spectrum, CenturyLink, basically any of the major providers and smaller ones that are in some of these other cities too.
And the real value add that you give to prospective new tenants and incoming tenants is you help set up their other utilities.
Correct.
Right. So, and I know it sounds simple in some places, other places it's very difficult, right? Would you guys agree with this?
Yes.
I mean, some places it's an email or even just an online registry. Other places it's like you got to go in person to set up something, and you've been able to streamline some of those.
Yeah, right.
So just name drop some utility providers you work with just in San Antonio.
CPS saws and what's the other? That's your gas and water.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. What about like in Dallas, for example?
Dallas, CoServe, any of the co-ops we do business with, but what's funny is that what a lot of property managers don't know, if you have a new property and a tenant's moving in and you don't even know what the utility provider is, we actually are going to get that information. And sometimes we have to call 6 or 7 different water companies or gas companies to verify that they service that address. And a lot of PMs don't know that we do that behind the scenes, but it takes a lot of time. But we want to make sure that the tenant has the correct utility provider when they move in and their stuff's going to be hooked up.
Yeah, and that's the stuff I wanted to bring out because you know, it's one thing to say this is what you do in the elevator pitch. It's the other thing to understand and say, no, if they were to do this, they have to try and figure out on their own who is the dang gas provider.
Right.
So
Right.
there's a lot of moving parts, you know, in our office that take place. PMs don't actually know about, and that's exactly one of them. I've talked to property managers who tell me they have someone on staff full time to just do this, you know, every day. So they're trying to figure out. PMs sometimes don't know who's a gas, electric, or water provider for that property, and somehow or another that one person needs to figure it out, find it, and then move forward with helping the tenant to connect it. Well, we do all of that,
Mhm.
right? So you may not know who that provider is, but we'll research it. Our agents will research it, and then come to the tenant and give them like a full list of options, a full list of, you know, if there isn't an online application or an online portal that we can help with, we'll still let them know, hey, this is where you need to go. This is the department. This is the address, or this is the phone number, or we'll do a third-party transfer. So there's a huge advantage for the tenant, but there's a really, really huge advantage for the PM. I don't know if you want to get into that yet, but yeah. You want to touch on some of those things on how it benefits?
Yes, Drea, we're going to make Drea talk now. Drea does have a voice. Let's hear it.
Well, if Drea starts talking, she doesn't quit. I guess that's why I might be in sales. But yeah, no, the benefits that come to working as a property management company, it's a matter of you don't have a contract that you have to sign, which is a huge benefit. Everybody loves that. You don't feel like you're being confined to a system that you may like or may not like. So then you move forward with it and you find out that your residents love it. And it does become become part of a lot of people's resident benefit package as well. So everybody is telling me like, we're going to get this started because we're rolling out a resident benefit package and we want you guys to be part of it. So if you're thinking about creating one, or you're in the process to reach out to us now so we can get that all set up for you with you while you do that. When it comes to the other side of things, when you're talking about the resident, like everybody else has kind of touched base on, I have personally in 1 year have moved 3 times. And I wish I knew about Citizen Home Solutions when I did that, because in Wyoming or South Dakota, you probably have to go to these areas, right? Or there is always a matter of phone calls and setting up things. And if somebody was there to assist me in setting those up, that would have saved a ton of stress, a ton of time, and money. Especially moving 3 times in 1 year, you don't know what you're paying for. But so when the resident is setting it up, I mean, they already have the stresses of moving as it is. And so having somebody assist them and knowing what utilities are sent to, saving you guys all those utility questions as well, of who do I get set up with? How do I set up with them? Any other questions that may come with utilities. Our team's going to be able to handle that and help them get set up with the right people, which is super nice.
I'd like to touch on one more point that I think is a huge benefit to the PM, and that's where, you know, you guys all have a lease agreement. You give them all the information that they need, usually on who their gas provider is, the water provider. You give them the phone number to maybe those providers, and somehow or another that tenant still misses that information and ends up calling your office or emailing your staff, taking up their time with, hey, so who do I call for water? Who do I call for this? You've already given them the information, but they're still calling your office. So our service cuts down on all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it cuts down on the phone calls, the emails, or any time that your staff is now having to spend on giving them that information again. So again, that's one of the things that PMs always touch on and why they love the service.
Don't forget the marketing incentive.
Oh.
That never hurts either.
No.
And speaking on that, I mean, that's always great.
Yeah.
We have something new we've added over the past year is a customer experience department. And it's basically just for the property managers. Amelia is part of that. She'll be reaching out to the property managers at some point, reviewing commission reports if they have questions. She also makes sure that conversion rate for the PMs is above a certain percentage, because we want the service to work for your tenants. But if we're getting the information from the PM late, the tenant's already moved in or they've already taken care of it themselves, it really doesn't give us an opportunity to help them or make the PM money. So Amelia's job is to make sure that the conversion rate is at the highest point it can be. So she'll go back and talk to these property managers if it falls below a threshold and just kind of go over best practices again. We know sometimes you guys have moving parts, turnover. somebody could have been doing it and then they leave, and then, you know, your conversion rate goes down, then you're calling us, say, hey, why not make any money this past quarter? And we're like, well, who was doing it? Oh yeah, that person was. And then, you know, it's just, there's a lot of moving parts with what you guys do as well. So Amelia's there just to kind of remind everybody the best processes and what to do to get the most out of the service. And
The procedural things of this, I mean, it's all policies and procedures. So when you actually do get an executed new lease agreement, what ends up happening is that goes to our team and they save it in all the different places they have to save it. Then that goes to Citizen Home Solutions, the tenant contact information. So then they can contact the tenant on our behalf as soon as we can get them information on that. The other thing I want to touch on it, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say another benefit too, as you're talking about that, is it's not us requiring the resident to reach out to us, which is a huge part of Citizen Home Solutions, is because we're going to be the ones in control, which in all reality allows you guys to be in control, and we are reaching out to the resident for you. So it's not waiting for them to contact us, because that could happen anytime, anywhere, you never know. But we're in control of being able to reach out to them, which is a massive benefit in getting utilities set up. And then it helps ensure that they're going to be set up, and give you guys kind of a peace of mind on that too.
And I think the reason why we think that's very important is because maybe not you, but a lot of there's PMs out there that end up with tenants moving in, and the services they move in and the services are never transferred over to their name. Yeah. So that happens quite a bit, right? So rather than like Drea mentioned, rather than having a tenant reach out to us and leave it in their hands, we're the ones contacting that tenant to make sure that these things get done. Because the last thing you want is a tenant living in your property where services are still, you know, under the PM company's name or the owner's name. So
well, yeah, I was like, you're having a pissed off landlord.
Yeah.
If they get another bill,
Yeah.
you know. So
we help cut that stuff.
Yeah, that's never good. So we do want to expand on something that we mentioned. It's called the resident benefits package, or what other things have you heard? Tenant benefits package, or tenant, you know, incentives or whatever. So it really is a situation where you could put together a list of things, a list of amenities that you would give to the incoming tenants, and they would pay for this per month. Typically it's, you know, whatever. I'm not going to say whatever price it is, just X to X, but you would start, right? X to X, right? He's like, oh, don't say. So it starts with potentially insurance. You can get that through the IMG group here. They're one of our sponsors of the podcast. It starts with renter's insurance, tenant liability insurance. You know, you can get that through them, add it into basically a bullet point of their services. And I want you to paraphrase the bullet point that you would put in the package. Go ahead.
I would say the first one would be utility setup, free concierge service.
Yeah, free utility setup. So now you have 3 bullet points, right? You got tenant liability insurance, renter's insurance, and free utility connection setup. And then you can go from there. You could potentially add filters through Second Nature. You could add, you know, whatever you can think of. It could be free back rubs. It could be free dry cleaning. It could be accident forgiveness. I mean, whatever you can think of, right? That goes into your resident benefits package, and that goes to every single tenant. Now, the way I would recommend it, what we do at Rentwerx here, and now we've been doing this RBP for 3 years, I mean, pushing 3 years, is the way we end up tying this in is on top of the regular lease agreement. So if you have $1,000 advertised home, don't go 1,000 plus X in the advertisement, go 1,000. Okay, but fully disclose this from the very, very, very beginning on your website, on your advertisements, in the screening criteria, in the application process, in the lease agreement, fully disclose that you're going to charge an additional X. But in doing that, fully define what you're giving them. So that way it's a very clean document. So you're giving me X per month in dollars, and I'm giving you these benefits and services that go tied into that. And make it to the point where it's just too good to be true. Like it's just too good to pass up. Like they're not going to look at it and complain. They're going to say, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Sign me up. I'm good with that because I get all of this stuff for just a little bit amount per month. And that is very good business. And everybody wins in that because you're providing a good service, giving them free things. And then also they're tying that into a monthly where they're not paying for these things up front. So that's a good service. So I wanted to just kind of tie that in together, kind of explain it further because it's just, you mentioned it. And unless you go full boat, you're not quite sure on a clear picture.
But we didn't say this either. We're 100% free service to your tenant or resident, and then it's 100% free to implement into your property management business and process.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up because I didn't want to make it sound like you got to spend 10 grand up front with these guys to engage with them. Zero up front. They'll come into your business. They'll work with you on the policies and procedures and the processes to send them the information that they need to get in touch with your tenants, and it works out very well. And again, we are a big fan of it. Wes, I want you to go for the magic bullet. Okay, I want you to talk about some of the big checks that you've written Rentwerx in the last year or so.
I think last year total, man, I can't even, like, was it 40, close to 40,000?
I don't think it was that much. But it's
amazing. It was getting up there.
it can be 5 figures a quarter.
Yeah.
Well, 4 figures a quarter for sure.
Yeah.
So should we bring Mr. Marquis in here for a wave?
Sure,
Yeah.
So in studio today, gang, I have our resident vice president. Excuse me, let me start over. Regional vice president, Mr. Pete Newbig. Come on over here, Pete. Come on down.
Get
Come on, Pete, come
cozy.
say hi.
Pete's in studio today because we're
I
gonna.
have to sit on my lap.
He had a
Here.
quick appointment here in San Antonio, and Pete is here. We're gonna all grab lunch after this and have a networking meeting. Now, I want to bring Pete in the shop
Fun
because
bunch.
you're like got to be in the top 10 for customers for Citizen Home Solutions, right?
Number 1, Brad.
Number 1. Okay. So Pete is the number 1 customer of Citizen Home Solutions, and just ask him.
You
He'll
think
tell
your
you.
checks are big?
I know. We don't want to have a check measuring contest just
Oh
yet.
my gosh.
No, I appreciate you coming in. And so a couple of things I also want to talk about was give you guys an opportunity to talk about the PM Health Group.
Mhm.
Okay, so Pete's a triathlon guy, and Peter's been a long-time
Ironman.
workout guy.
Ironman.
Wes has been, all these folks are very healthy folks. They're always constantly working out. Drea just got a new Peloton, so she's like super happy.
So did Brad.
We got a Peloton, yeah, I
Some
got
are
one.
offended that we.
Are y'all friends on
Some-
Peloton?
We're friends on
We
Peloton.
are,
That's
we
right.
are.
That's
But
awesome.
some are offended we don't call it an exercise bike, and I just want to throw it out there that just doesn't flow as well. You guys say I went on my Peloton ride today.
It's a very snobby thing. It's like holding the glass with your pinky out,
Yeah.
right? That's the Peloton rider. So either way, let's talk about the PM Health Group. Peter.
Yeah. So I think it's a great group. It started off with just a place for a couple of us to kind of come together and share ideas about, exercising and healthy eating, just being active.
I'm gonna tell you, you need to rewind and tell them what inspired you,
Well, I
and
don't-
how it
okay.
started. I mean, because that's a better
Okay,
story.
I'll go there. I just
Okay.
didn't know if anybody wanted to hear it.
Oh,
but-
they do.
So I was it 2017, 18, I can't remember. I think it was 18. Before I came over to work for Citizen Home Solutions, I took a trip to South Africa, came back. I was ill, ended up in the hospital for about a week or so. And once you're there, of course, the doctor says you need to make some changes here because you're not very healthy. It was overweight. Then we were chatting. I'd see Wes every now and then at different conferences and stuff, and we were talking about me coming over to CHS, and it's funny because he said, well, if you're going to come over to CHS, you're going to have to lose some weight. So that was like my
I did not say that.
That is something.
Hey,
Wes
you
would
want to
say.
say that?
yeah. So
Did you ask him if he's pregnant too?
yeah.
Man.
So he said that, but we were friends already at that point. So
Not a requirement to be on the Norton board. Just
yeah.
Good.
we don't
So-
poach employees, by the way.
So he did say, actually, I think you were a little bit more detailed. He said, you've got to do keto if you're going to come work for us. But anyways, the point is that I needed to make some changes in my life, right? And so I did. I started eating healthier. I started exercising. I started doing different things. And before I knew it, there was different PMs, because that's who I interact with, right? And there was different PMs asking me, like, how are you? What are you doing? You're losing weight. You're looking healthier and whatnot. And so I'm telling them, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm making some changes here. And it was just one PM after another, like almost weekly, reaching out and asking me. So I told this guy, I said, hey, I'm wondering if I should just make a Facebook group because people are asking me, and I think it'd be kind of cool to bring everybody together and share some ideas and talk about food and talk about exercise. And I remember I told you, and you said, yeah, you should do it. And I was still a little hesitant, but then I said, okay, I might just do this. And I asked you again, I said, what do you think? And I remember you said, just
It was really nice.
just do it.
Because he was we just got him on
We
keto
had just
too.
gotten him on keto. It was broker owner of 2018 when you started that. I remember.
It was after PM Grow.
Yeah, you said you were pretty committed to it. You said, I need to make some changes. So I said, I'm thinking about doing this, and you were very. You said just do it.
For
And
those
we
that
did.
don't know me, if you can't implement something in 5 seconds, it drives me insane. He came to me with the idea, and I said, do it. And then he came to me like a week later, and I said, why haven't you done it yet? I would have had this done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So let's go.
He did say that. And so here we are. We have the group. It's started back in, I want to say August or July of last year. Don't have a ton of members. We're about 400 and something members, but everyone is really involved. Pete's a part of the group. Brad's a part of the group. I mean, we all are, right? But it's just, it's a really cool place for, for all of us, and especially for your peers to come together and I think just kind of feed off of each other, and just really motivate and inspire each other. Like Brad mentioned, Pete's been doing, he's been exercising for a long time. Ironman, how many times?
3 times.
3 times Ironman. So that's nothing. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment. And when people start hearing his story, you had other people like Trent. You've got people like, I mean, I could go down in the list, but people are saying, you know what, maybe I should try this. I think I could do it. So it's just kind of motivating everyone and getting everyone
What's
going.
really cool is, I mean, Trent's a fit guy anyway, just to leave him out of it. But look at Todd Orchard.
Yeah.
Todd was a little overweight. He's come in and got some motivation and some tips and some techniques from the group.
Right.
And now he's dropped 50 pounds already. And so he's feeling good. I mean, that's the type of stuff we like.
Well, let's not leave you out.
Yeah, how much
I
did
mean,
you lose?
I lost 40. I
Yeah.
lost 40 pounds.
How much
Yeah.
you lost? How much?
I lost 65 pounds.
I'm proud of you guys, man.
That's
Seriously.
awesome.
Good stuff.
It's hard to lose that weight when you're first starting out,
Yeah.
because it's so easy to get back to your old habits. So not only have you guys in the group helps with this, not only have you guys, stopped old habits and created new habits, you change your whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
And really the PM Health Group is about helping individuals change their lifestyle from an unhealthy lifestyle to a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
And just getting all of the encouragement from all those folks and the tips helps you stop those bad habits.
Yeah.
How many times I've seen Amy Carnes at 5 a.m. post like she's doing a workout. I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
It is motivating.
Yes.
It honestly is motivating when people post what they've done for that day in the workout. You look at it like, man, they've got out and it's crappy weather and there's no excuses and they did something. I mean, just do something every day, I think is important.
Well,
It
not,
doesn't have to be marathon stuff, but something every day.
not only that, but I like to think of it as a safe place
Yeah.
because not everybody wants to know on your regular Facebook feed what you're exercising, what you're doing, and there's no support. You don't get a lot of feedback, so you feel like you're, it kind of like makes you want to dive into a hole. But with the PM Health Group, you sit there and everybody's like, yeah, I'm proud of you, like, good job, and let's see your progress, and we want your updates, we want to see where you're at, and we don't want anybody to be embarrassed to post. It's encouraging for everyone to post.
And it makes it really easy to just reach out to anyone or people that you're close to in the group and ask them for advice. I know I've done that with Tony Klein. I've done that with Pete. I started off, like I mentioned, I started off with keto. And then, I'm not pushing any kind of eating style or diet on anyone, right? I started off with keto, and now I've completely, turned the page. I'm vegetarian now, right? Which I know that there's all these dead animals in your office right now. So
We really,
But,
we really like beef over
yeah,
here.
that's right. Yeah. So I'm sitting between. Yeah. But anyway,
Vegetarian, by the way, is the Inuit word for bad hunter.
but what I'm getting at is whatever it is that you decide to go with, you've got support within the group, right? So I had no idea how to start. I knew, and I was driving to San Antonio one day. I called up Pete and I said, "Hey, I'm really thinking about doing this." I had actually already started. I was 3 days in, and he said, "Well, take baby steps." And he says, "And make sure you don't, all you eat is not just salads because you're gonna hate your life." So, that was great. That was a great tip because I would have thought, okay, just eat salads all the time. Well, I probably would have done that for like a week, and then I would have been like, I'm done. So great coaching from people that are doing this. I mean, Pete's been, are you vegan now?
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian for
about 10 years.
about 10 years, right?
Good stuff.
So we have a variety of not just exercises, activities, but eating habits within the group. And so there's something there for everyone, and I think that's really what it's about, just talking about it, motivating each other, and helping each other.
A couple things we want to talk about in order of dates. So the first thing we have coming up is NARPM National in October. And so you guys are going to be doing the second iteration of your 5K event.
Correct.
So
It'll
talk
be
us
on
about that a
Tuesday.
little bit.
Yeah, so it'll be our second 5K. That'll be on Tuesday of the week, and we're pretty excited. Our goal last year was 100 people to come and register for the race. We closed the registration with 97, so we were pretty happy. It was our first time. Really didn't know what we were doing, but we were pretty excited. We had great support. We had a lot of you guys come out and run. And so yeah, this time our goal is going to be 150. So we're hoping to with everyone's help hit those numbers. Everyone's already looking forward to it. Everyone's is always asking, are you guys doing another one? When's this happening? So pretty excited.
And it's a run walk.
Yeah.
You don't just have to run.
Yeah.
I am happy to walk with anyone.
I will walk with you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 5K, so it's not like you're killing yourself and running a marathon. And it could be a run walk. It's really just a spirit of getting out there, living a healthy lifestyle. And that is defined differently for everybody. Like it could be just walking a 5K is a healthy lifestyle for a lot of folks. It doesn't have to be you're running, 6-minute miles, right? It really depends on your body type. And that's what the group encourages people to kind of find that happy medium that they can get into and get a groove on. And so the 5K is going to be a cool event. I'm really ticked off last year. Matt Whitaker beat me. And so Matt, I'm coming for you this year. I'm coming for you this year again. The next thing I want to talk about is something that we're putting together called the Mastermind Marathon. So Citizen Home Solutions and the Property Manager Mastermind are putting this together. And we're looking at Savannah. We're looking at November 7 in Savannah. Okay, we're going to run the Rock and Roll Marathon, half marathon. We're going to piggyback on that. So the concept is we're going to meet there Thursday night. We're going to have an all-day meeting on Friday, masterminding with certain things that are going on in the industry, small group, 40, 50, 60 folks. We're going to shuttle everybody to the sign-up. Everybody can get their sign-up stuff, get their swag on. You know those expos, right? They sell you everything you want. And then Saturday, right after the Friday afternoon of getting there and Friday afternoon masterminding, Saturday we run the race. We have a big dinner Saturday night. We have drinks. We party it up, and everybody goes home Sunday. So it's going to be one heck of a good time because the last time I ran a half marathon, a rock and roll marathon, I went down there by myself. I ran by myself. I finished by myself. I came home by myself and just sucked. It's like, I don't want to do that. If I want to go run a marathon.
By the way.
Sorry?
What year was that?
Shut up. We're going to talk about that. That was 3 years ago. I know I should have run more since then. He's like needling me, but nobody knows that except he and I. But the Savannah one's going to be really cool because it's November in Savannah. It's going to be easy in, easy out, and I'm excited to be able to put that together. We should be announcing that fully in the next few weeks. I mean, we're getting ready to sign the hotel this week. Okay, so it'll be a good deal.
PMMCON.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We'll announce it at the Mastermind Conference. That's kind of the stick on that one. So, gang, we just wanted to see if you had any last-minute comments.
No, I would just say, thank you to our existing clients, our partners. They've been great support. It's gotten us to where we can make ourselves better and help different property managers. But encourage anyone who's not using us to ask one of your peers. You mentioned it, how it's benefited your business, but just ask your peers and or just reach out to one of us.
How do we get in touch with you guys? What's the easiest way?
You can reach me anywhere as far as LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, my email, which is Drea@citizenhomesolutions.com. You can go through our website to go PMCpartner.com. There's a get started form that you can fill out. That'll start the entire process to reach out to me. And I'm available via phone, anything.
PMCpartner.com. There's testimonials on there, a video that explains the service, the process. Peter's on there talking a little bit how to get started and basically answers a lot of questions before you even fill out the form. And then we'll just give you Brad Larson's cell phone number. So you can call him
And
Or
I'm
Pete.
always a reference.
And then,
Pete Newbig.
Pete
I've had
Newbig.
Pete's a good reference.
Call me about CHS and
Well, we never did hear who had the bigger check.
to be continued.
To be continued.
It's a Facebook, posting for sure. All right, buddy. Thanks for joining us again. That Property Manager Mastermind discount, if you can use that by 7 February, close of business, is a $500 off the full sign up for the Mastermind Conference. So look forward to seeing you there. Look also forward to seeing you at the BizDev Seminar in Seattle in July. We also have the NARPM National 5K with Citizen Solutions, and then the Mastermind Marathon will be announced here in the next coming weeks, days. Look forward to that, and thanks again for joining. Take care.
Thanks for having us.
This show is sponsored by the best home inspection software on the market for property managers. We endorse and use Z-Inspector as our software of choice for our team to document home inspections. We particularly like their 360 degrees camera system that produces amazing views of the interior room. Your clients will love Z-Inspector documented inspections you provide them. Visit www.zinspector.com to learn more.
This has been a podcast episode by PropertyManagementProductions.com. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast, leave us feedback, and come back for our next episode.